Hey everybody, happy Tuesday. We're going to be doing a lot of yoga poses, but we're going to do repetitive movements to get our alignment correctly and feel it in our bodies, as well as to strengthen the muscles around the key core musculature that I feel is so important. It's going to help you to have more energy and boost your metabolism, decrease inflammation so you can be pain-free and moving really, really well. So let's just keep our feet together. Inhale, sweep our arms up overhead and back with the hands together at the heart. And inhale, bend your knees and raise your arms up overhead and back. And 3, breathe in through your nose and exhale as you bend your knees and down, up, inhale and exhale. 3 more and exhale. 2 and exhale, and 1 and back. This time, easy, raise your arms up overhead, grab a hold of the left wrist, pull to the right side of the body, keeping the right side of the body nice and long, gazing up under your armpit toward the ceiling, staying long, and grab a opposite wrist with your left hand. And then push your hips to the right, opening up on the right side of the body, as well as the left side, staying long on the left side and back. And interlace your hands or fingers behind you. Pull up, gaze up, gentle extension, and then bend your knees and fold forward and breathe. Keep your belly to thigh connection. Take a deep breath in and exhale, pull all the way up and back. So we're going to step out and make your feet so that it's 2 fist width distance between the toes and the heels. So you're making an 11. Look down at your feet. Make sure that you're making an 11. And make sure too that you place more weight on the inner arches of your feet. And from there, have your hands on your hips and bend your knees and look down to make sure that the knees stay behind your toes and raise your toes up a little bit. Tuck your tailbone slightly under and back up, but not all the way. So we're going to pulsate down and back up. It's going to start to burn in our thighs, but that's okay. And down. Only go down as far as you can without feeling pressure or pain. 4, nice and slow. 5 and 6 and 7 and 8. On this last one, we're going to hold it and come straight up. And then this time, come high up on your toes and slowly lower those heels as slow as possible. Come high up on your toes and slowly lower. And 3, up and down, nice and slow. And 4, and down, nice and slow. 5, and down. And 6, and down, and 7, and down, and 8, up, and down. Good job. And then now I want you to take a wider stance, probably about 3 feet wide, and then turn your toes out a bit. And then I want you to sink your hips down, and as you do that, make sure that the knees stay, again, behind your second toe. They're not going forward or they're not going back, but they're in alignment. So the knee right over your ankles, okay? It doesn't matter how far you can go. Maybe it's just a little curtsy. That's fine. Tuck your tailbone forward and really draw the navel to the spine. Upper body back, chin forward, dip down and up. Keep your toes up as well. So most of your weight is on your heels and the inner arch of both feet. 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8. And hold and back up. And just give it a little shake. Alternate bending your knees side to side. And then from there, I want you to go down again, right heel up and down. Do the best you can. Left heel and down. You don't have to go all the way down, right? There's harder things that you can do here, but you can stay up to where you feel the activation of your thighs all around, front and back. Tuck your tailbone slightly forward and really keep your navel to the spine, core engaged. Up and down and up and down. That's 4 and down and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8. Whew, it's burning for me. And come all the way up. Let's heel toe our feet together. Inhale, sweep our arms up, overhead and back 3 times like that. Inhale up and exhale. Bend your knees. Inhale up and exhale. One more time. Inhale up and exhale. Simple exercises like this really does a number. I have my heart rate up and I'm really breaking some sweat here. So for this one, we call this the triangle pose, right? Triangle pose in yoga. We don't have to do the full expression. What I want you to do is turn your left toes in, right foot out so that the foot itself is parallel to the side edge of your mat, okay? Pull the left hip back and then the right hip is going to go forward, right? So keeping that spine nice and perpendicular to the pelvic bowl, we're going to stay long, reach down toward the knee. But notice how I don't hyper arch or bend down all the way because that's really, this is a full expression of the triangle pose, but not many people have the ability to do that correctly. So I want you to just kind of go partially down. It's a lot on the obliques here. Keeping it nice and centered above the pelvis, go up and down, up and down. Careful though, not to lock out the front thigh. Go down and up, go down and up. Down and up, tiny little pulses. It doesn't have to be big movements. Really draw the navel to the spine. Really feel it in the obliques, really the left side, right? The top part. And up and down and up. Tiny little movement. Once you connect with your body and you know what muscles are turning on, you can really fine tune them and draw them into a point where you can work isolated muscles to where you can feel them, and small tiny movements like this will really enhance that connection. And it's important because these are core muscles that we want turned on all the time to support our spine and our joints, right? We all need that, especially for us who have autoimmune conditions. Right hip back, left hip forward, stay nice and long, and draw down like this on this side. So now it's the right side of the obliques that's working to pull up. And I can feel the lower part of my rib cage really contracting to where it's really working. Navel is drawn into the spine. Tailbone is tucked, so I'm not hyper arched. Being responsible in the way we move our body is going to help us to retain our muscles and our joints for years to come, which is exactly what we need. 5, 4, 3, 2, and make the movement come from the core. We can easily do it without feeling a thing, but I want you to be one of those people that want to be working the proper muscles. So tune into your body so you can feel them. So now I'm going to go on to the right side. Deep side angle stretch is what this is, or warrior 2. Okay, however way you want to say this is fine, but let's just say warrior 2. Okay, turn the left toes in, right foot parallel to the side edge of the mat, arms straight out so that it's parallel to the floor. Really, I'm sinking into the right hip, but I'm not going forward. I'm keeping my spine right over my pelvic bowl, so it's perpendicular. So the only thing that I'm really feeling is the inner thighs stretching away from each other to a point where it's creating a nice resistive stretch. But it's safe because I have my knee right over my right ankle, and then back foot is turned in slightly. So we're going to bend down and up. And again, you don't have to bend down all the way, just slight bend and back, really feeling it from the core. Make majority of movements tune in with the core. So you can tune into the core and then make the movement happen that way, utilizing the core muscles to allow for your body to move. It's a much better, effective, metabolically enhancing way to do things, right? While preserving our joints. And one more, and back. I'm going to turn my right toes in, left toes straight out so that it's parallel to the side edge of the mat. Nice and open, right hip back, left hip kind of tucks under, and bend into the left knee, and back, and come up and down. So this is warrior two on this side. So there's a nice stretch away from my inner thighs all the way out. My upper body is right centered, right over my pelvic bowl, right? It's perpendicular. It's not leaning forward. There's no haphazard movement here. So really understand, and it helps to be in front of the mirror as well. So learn it the right way. And when I bend into my left knee, the knee stays right over my ankle. So I'm keeping that alignment so that I don't hurt my knees in any way. Okay? Anything we can help to retain our health is a good thing, right? 3, 4, and 5, 6, 7, and 8. Good job. This time I'm going to turn my toes in. I'm going to grab a block. You can get whatever block you need, or any type of a chair perhaps. If you don't have, or if you're feeling a little weak at times, you might not be able to do this. So what I want you to do is turn your toes slightly in, and you're just going to sink your hips way down and up, right? To a point where you can keep a nice bend in the knee, and the bend is going right over your ankles and back up, tracking the knees above the ankles and sinking your hips, stretching into our hips. I'm going to show you a side version here. Feet way out, and bend and up, bend and up. Okay, just tiny little pulses there. Bend and up. And as much as possible, you're keeping your upper body back or forward, not all the way hunched down, okay? Keep your head up. And then from here, I'm going to take a wider stance, and I'm going to bend into the right knee and then the other side. And as I bend into the right knee, I'm going to pull the heel, left heel, away from my hips. Same thing on the right side. As I bend, toes come up on the opposite straight leg. Back and forth, stretching those inner thighs, and back and forth. And then turn your toes in, heel toe yourself all the way back up. Raise your arms up and back down all the way. Place your right hand on top of the block, and then rotate your upper body all the way up and back. And feel the rotation into your thoracic spine or mid-back. Open up and back. Don't allow your hips to go with you, right? Keep your pelvis square. The only thing that's rotating is your upper body. Up, and feeling the stretch on the left side, the opposite side of the rotation, and back. And then I'm going to bend my knees and come to a seated position. Those of you who have tight hamstrings, I have a very flexible hamstring, so I don't need the block. But those of you who have to, because of this, like you round up and you don't have enough length back here, don't feel bad. It's just a structural difference. You're going to place the block under your sits bones and sit up like that. You're going to place your right heel in, and then you're going to rotate away and look towards the left side, opening up, placing your right hand in front at the center, and stretch away. I'm going to get rid of this because for me, I'm not getting a stretch that way. But those of you who need the block, don't feel bad. It's just we're all genetically different. And I have instability because of the flexibility. So it's sometimes a blessing and a curse, however way you want to look at it. Lift your left arm up. I'm going to bend into my right elbow and stretch to a point where I can feel a deep stretch pulling from my left hip and my upper torso. Take a deep breath in and exhale. Take a deep breath in and exhale. Come back up. I'm going to come forward. Walk your hands forward and reach for your feet. Take a deep breath in and exhale and breathe for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come back. And then we're going to do the opposite side. Remember, those of you who need the block, please use them. Place your left hand in front of the right foot, right at the center. Raise your right arm up and bend over. Stretch away the right hip away from the right torso. Lift up, and I'm going to bend into my left elbow and stretch further, keeping my right sit bone down so that I can feel this nice stretch on the right side of my torso. Take a deep breath in and exhale. Take a deep breath in and exhale. Come back. I'm going to hinge forward towards my left foot. Come forward. Take a deep breath in and exhale. Take a deep breath in and exhale. Those of you who have this kind of a flexibility, that's totally fine. That works so fine. I feel this stretch too. Whoops, think that. And come all the way down. Take a deep breath in and exhale. And come back. And let's place our feet together. And remember, if you need a block below your sits bones, that's totally fine. Because a lot of us have a lot of tightness in the hip or low back, so we're hunched over like this. If you find yourself in this position, please place this block under you so that you can sit up nice and tall, create that space in your hips so that you can stretch forward on your hips. Pelvis on hips. And hinge forward, chin forward, take a deep breath in and exhale. You can just place your hands in front of you and go all the way down. Take a deep breath in and exhale. Take a deep breath in and exhale. I'm going to place my right hand there, lift my left arm up, and maybe perhaps reach towards my right thigh or wherever I can go. Just open up that side like this. If that feels better for you, do so. But opening up to the left side, take a deep breath in and exhale. I'm going to bring my left hand in front of me. Raise my right arm up. Open up to the right side. Grab a hold of the left inner thigh. Open up. Take a deep breath in and exhale. Take a deep breath in and exhale. And I'm going to walk my hands forward just one more time. And take it back. Place your hands behind you and really open up your chest. Gaze up. Take a deep breath in and exhale. Come back to the center. Raise your arms up overhead and back. One more. Inhale up and exhale. I hope you enjoyed this session as much as I did. I'll see you guys next week.